Hello, my love. Back from some adventure, I bet.
You know, I will say a lot of the home-cooked mods and DLC offered in the Skyrim Anniversary Collection are impressive. I like Tundra Homestead a lot. You can buy this from the steward up in, let's see, what do they call it? Yeah, Dragon's Reach Palace. Whoever the steward is sells this homestead for 7,500 gold. The entire estate is worth that much. You don't need to buy any extra furniture. Everything comes with it. I'm not sure how I feel about these armchairs, though. They're basically a carbon copy of the throne in the Blue Palace where Jarl Elisif sits. A bit ornate for my taste, but hey, house is fantastic. But that's not what this video is about. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to a bandit lair and demonstrate a few things about my character build. This is meant to be a further elaboration on my human male fighter build using a Breton race. So I'm just going to follow the road up here and head towards the bandit lair that I'm thinking of. Right now it's just after dawn in-game. There's always 3 or 4 guards up here at this intersection.
What is it?
Cause trouble in Whiterun and I'll haul you into the Dragon's Reach dungeon myself.
Nah, that's okay. I'd rather not spend some time in there if it's all the same to you. My character is a Thane, but at the same time, he wouldn't be the type of person to use that to his advantage, at least not in a way that he abuses it. Oh shit, is that dragon? Yeah, not good. Come on, focus on me. That's right. Gotta make sure he doesn't go over to the farms here. Shit, he is. Come on, get up there. He's gonna kill these farmers if I don't get to them. I'll check the area after I'm done with this. Whoa! Okay.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
I just accidentally committed assault against one of the guards. Well, it's a true test of what I said earlier, isn't it? What do? Do I rescind that statement, or do I... Oh, forget it. Let's do the right thing here.
Smart man. Now come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
Yep, you got him. Okay, how much money do I have left? Alright, 643 gold. That's not bad.
Writhing in the field of our own corruption, while you have a sense of
I don't know how he still has a voice preaching in front of that statue of Talos all day, but... the voice actor did a very good job making him sound like he had a... difficulty projecting his voice after a while.
My cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Are you the one I hit with my mace? Yeah, probably not. Okay, well since I don't actually have my horse and nobody's following me right now, I'm going to take a shortcut out of the front gate here. Let's go ahead and jump up here. And back down to the road. I'll come back to those guys after I loot the dragon. Still early morning in game, but I wonder, did that dragon actually kill any of the farmers nearby? I'll search the area, see if there's any bodies, but I don't want that to happen if I can help it. Okay, this appears to be a wheat field. Oh, come on now. Is the dragon gone?
Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
The dragon's gone. I can't loot it. Maybe I should have pulled the Thane card, I don't know. But is everybody alive? That's the important thing. I can always get more dragon bones and dragon scales just by finding one or two more dragons and killing them myself. Alright, that's a grain mill powered by the windmill there. Nobody's inside. We have a chicken and a cow in the wheat field. Cabbages up here. Was anybody outside though? Oh, here he is. Alright, you're still alive. What about the Battleborn farm over here? Was anybody outside or attacked? It didn't seem like the dragon was actually in this area. Leaks.
Huh?
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just making sure everybody's alive after that dragon attack. Pardon me if I'm distracting you. Nice wood chopping block there. One of the Battleborns comes out here and helps Gwendolyn after a while. It might have been too early in the morning for her to do that, though. So I'm going to say that all of the farmers in this area are probably still alive. I haven't seen her body yet. Have another cow here. I think everybody's okay. What about this? Let's take a higher vantage point here. Yeah, never mind. Fought a dragon, absorbed its soul. Only cost me 40 gold after I accidentally struck one of the guards, but I'll take it, considering all the farmers are probably alive. I'm disappointed that I couldn't loot the dragon, though, not before I was hauled off to the jail. Alright, back to the task at hand. What about these guys? Dragon didn't look like it stopped above or landed in this area.
What can I do for you?
Nothing. Please carry on. Okay, the bandit lair I'm thinking of is in this direction here. Another cabbage and potato patch here. The only thing is, I don't remember a cabbage and potato patch being here. Is this an expanded portion of a farm that came with the anniversary edition? I wonder. I could be wrong. Alright, the place I'm thinking of is directly across the plain here. Yeah, the icon, due north. Whoa, saber cat! Okay. Come on. Whoa. Okay, come on now. Whew. You almost got me. Okay, let's go ahead and wait to heal up a bit here. What I wanted to do was go through the skill trees and demonstrate exactly what I had in mind for this character build. And I also have an idea that may come as unexpected to a lot of people who watch this video. I'll get to that after I demonstrate what I would like to at this bandit encampment. Just have to wait to heal up a little bit here. Couple of elks here. They have nothing to worry about. Alright, I can move a little bit faster when I sheath my weapon. Now, which direction do I want to approach this? The front gate is right there. Yeah, where the crosshair is pointing. What time is it in game? Okay, it's late morning. I'm halfway through to level 9 here. Almost to level 10. I may be able to level up during this raid on the Bandit encampment. But the first thing I'd like to demonstrate is the block skill. Let's go ahead and go to the block skill here. Now, one block skill that I never actually, or rather one perk that I never actually take, is quick reflexes. The problem with quick reflexes, time does slow down while you're blocking an enemy's power attack, but I really don't like how it operates and how it functions. It doesn't feel natural to me. I'm better off just relying on my own reflexes with the controller and reacting to that instead of slowing time down every single time a melee attacker performs a power attack. The right side has bash enhancements, which does come in handy. Like, for example, power bash. You can do a power bash at the expense of extra stamina. After that point, at level 50 in the block skill, you can perform a deadly bash, which apparently inflicts 5 times more damage while performing a power bash, to the best of my knowledge. Disarming bash. You have a chance of disarming an enemy when bashing with your shield, which is fantastic when you're fighting other melee enemies. But the first thing I have in mind is to deflect arrows. Meaning, if you center the shield just right, you can block incoming arrows fired from archers and have no damage inflicted upon your character. Now, I've already mentioned Elemental Protection, which offers a 50% reduction in the damage caused by fire, frost, and shock spell attacks. But that is specific to fire, frost, and shock. Any other type of spell attack that doesn't fall directly under those categories, like a vampire drain, at least as far as I know, isn't affected by elemental protection. You can also take the next step up and you're able to move faster with a shield raised. Another perk that I'm not going to take in the block skill is shield charge. It looks like an excellent perk. You can sprint with the shield raised and it knocks down most targets that are, say, roughly the size of your character or slightly larger. I don't imagine it would work on a giant. But at the same time, I've heard that even with all of the updates to the game, this particular perk actually glitches quite frequently. Which is why I don't intend on taking that perk. But the first thing I'm going to do, you see, if you take the deflect arrow perk, you can block arrows and negate all damage inflicted to your character in the process, but it's still possible to block arrows with your shield and still receive a minor amount of damage from the arrow itself and the block. I can demonstrate here because 1 or 2 archers are going to come out of this gate. Alright, am I at full health again? Here they come. Oh. Hey. Okay, one of the archers. Let's, actually, you know what? Let's loot these guys first. I can afford to wait a few moments. Here, let's get this guy's body away from the watering pot. Yeah, this is another way you can block arrows. See? Alright. Okay, center it perfectly. Let's see if they actually hit my shield. Come on now, try again. Yeah, see? You can still do it without the perk. It just inflicts damage in the process. Albeit partly negated damage. There we go.
Prepared to die.
Okay, enough of this. One down. Oh, you don't say. Try that again. You know, I will say that bandit encampments and bandit groups
Think you can take me?
are the most equal opportunity employers in Skyrim. They'll take anybody who's willing to fight innocents. Too bad they attack innocents. Okay. Let's go ahead and loot this one. Actually, the iron arrows aren't worth anything, but I'll take them anyway. And the other one I just killed down here. Where is she? There she is. Boom. Alright, let's see what's outside here. Empty barrel. Trap with a spiked ball above it. There we are. That's easy enough to avoid. Sheath my weapon for now. Appear to have slaughtered a mammoth here. Probably while using this iron dagger on the table. What's in the barrel? Cabbage. After all, everybody has to eat something. Honeycomb? Decent ingredient. Apples. Carrots. Carrots. Potatoes. Tomatoes. Why not? Let's go ahead and take those. Down the stairs. Okay, the only thing I have to do is check this platform up here. And something clipped through it. Which means there's nothing on the platform except a chair to sit on. Although I didn't notice this chest. Let's see if I can pick it. Look at that. Center top. Alright, on to the mine. Now, one other thing I'm going to do with my character. The heavy armor skill. I'm going to focus on the right side perks first. Mainly because it helps in utilizing heavy armor itself. For example, the next perk up, Well Fitted, grants you a 25% armor bonus if you're wearing all heavy armor. A helmet, chest plate, gauntlets, greaves, boots, whatever comes with the armor. That's if you're wearing a matching set. Tower of Strength, you have 50% less stagger when wearing only heavy armor. That means if you're wearing all heavy armor, you stagger 50% less. Matching set, you gain an additional 25% armor bonus if wearing a match set of heavy armor, which means if you're wearing all the same type of heavy armor in a matching set, obviously you gain another 25% armor bonus. And I may need to correct myself here. This doesn't necessarily need to be a matching set. It doesn't state anything like that here. So the well-fitted perk may only apply if you're wearing heavy armor and not necessarily a matched set. But that does apply to matching set. Now the next one up, reflect blows. You have a 10% chance to reflect melee damage back to the enemy while wearing all heavy armor. And on the left side here, Fists of Steel helps when you're brawling. Only half damage from falling if you're wearing all heavy armor with the cushioned perk, although I really wouldn't want to test that because falling damage, it isn't something you want to mess with unless you absolutely have your heart set on it. Don't say I didn't warn you though, it can go badly very quickly. Conditioning. If you have this perk at, let's see, level 70 of the skill, heavy armor weighs nothing and doesn't slow you down when it's worn. So all of that is very useful, but I'm going to focus on the right side first. Okay, watch out for that trap plate there. This guy's wearing heavy armor. Now I'm going to demonstrate something else. I've focused on the one-handed skill for offensive purposes. And I've specialized in maces. I was going to specialize in both maces and swords, but there's a problem with swords. If you focus on swords, you gain, if I remember correctly, up to a 30% chance of inflicting critical damage with a standard strike. The problem with critical damage is that it does have a cap. If you're equipped with a sword, you're only going to be able to inflict the base damage of that sword in addition to whatever critical damage is inflicted from the perk. So what that means, you are only inflicting double damage from the base damage of that sword against an enemy if critical damage is triggered. It doesn't actually take into account any sort of modifications you've made for the weapon, say through smithing. I discovered that while watching the Skyrim channel Fudge Muppet. They explained that better than I did. But in a nutshell, the Bladesman and the Deep Cuts perk from the two-handed skill, it's not as powerful as it seems. So instead of maces and swords, I might focus solely on maces, or I could also take axes, the hack and slash perk as well, along with this, but I'm going to demonstrate exactly what the difference is between the mace perk and the sword perk is, or in this case, the lack thereof.
Finish this.
Okay, you notice how he's not actually inflicting a lot of damage? Now let me switch to the mace. He has the first level of the mace-based perk, which offers... what is it? Yes, it ignores 25% of armor. And the two-handed equivalent of this perk is called Skull Crusher when you're using warhammers. It offers the exact same effect as Bone Breaker does to maces. So let me go ahead and switch to my mace, and I'll show you the difference between the sword damage and the mace damage. Look at that. Quick and easy. And he's got the key to the gate, I'll be taking that. Helmet. Chest plate. His shield is more valuable, so I'll take that. It's also slightly lighter in weight than his weapon. Let's see, a mammoth snout? Sure. I'll go ahead and take these tusks too. I have something in mind for those. Okay. Open that gate up. Okay, the bandit chief is directly ahead where the crosshair is pointing. See him? Now, I can't tell what kind of weapon he has exactly. That's either a battle axe or some kind of warhammer, but I do know he's wearing what appears to be predominantly steel armor, a horned steel helmet, steel chest plate, what may be steel gauntlets of some kind, but I'll know for sure after he comes up close. Now that I look at it closer, it looks like a battle axe of some kind. Okay. Now the other skill set I am focusing on for this character... Let's see, I've gone over heavy armored block and one-handed smithing. Now, I am going to take the middle perk in the smithing skill, Arcane Blacksmith, as soon as I can, because after I do that, I can improve magical weapons and armor. I don't intend on using magical weapons very often, because I don't actually have a means to recharge them myself, but certain types of magical equipment may come in handy. And eventually, I'm going to encompass all of the perks for smithing, the right and the left side. And interestingly, even though my character does specialize in heavy armor, I'm going to focus on the left side first. Because I actually like the elven weapons, especially the swords and maces. And the advanced armor perk, not only can you create scaled and plate armor at forges, there are quite a number of custom armor sets that do fall under the advanced armor perk. For example, say the Brigandines and the specialized helmets that you get from the Dawn Guard, they count as a type of advanced armor. I also like glass swords and maces, just how they look. Now the real prize, of course, is the dragon armor perk that you can make dragon armor and dragon weapons with. I don't ever intend on using Daedric equipment, but I'll probably use Ebony equipment, which offers the same amount of protection and inflicts the same amount of damage, respectively. Alright, now back to the raid here. I'm going to attract someone's attention when I do this. There's 3 of them in this chamber. I could probably bottleneck them up this... could I? Yeah, I probably could. Okay, I attracted their attention. Well, not really. I wasn't surprised to find you guys down here, was I? Hey. One down. Show your face again. Hi. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a great sword, huh?
I'll show you what a real orc can do.
Okay. What is she doing? Okay, go ahead and take this too. Increase my health just a little bit. Let them come to me. Oh, I see what he did there. Okay. I'm gonna have to do something a little bit crafty. Come on. You're not a bad fighter.
Damn you! I'll skin you alive.
No, you won't. Right by the skin of my teeth. But I still won. Okay, what do you have? Not bad, not bad at all. Okay, what about the mage? Okay, she's down here. Well, she has a nice amulet. Okay, you. Why not? I have the space to carry that. A little bit of gold on the table, don't mind if I do. Well, the flute has some minor value, I can sell that. There are no steps there. See, here's what I'm wondering. How in the world did they get this mammoth in here? Probably down through this pit. Ow. Well, I tripped that trap, didn't I? I'm lucky that didn't kill me. Only has a snout. Decent meat, though. I can't imagine what this would smell like. It's like I have a blacksmith forge down here. Wait a minute. Seems like a very... That seems like an absolutely terrible idea to have a blacksmith forge in this enclosed space. Aren't they worried about carbon monoxide, or... I don't know, maybe they're not that educated. I already have the 3 mammoth tusks I picked up earlier. What time is it? Early afternoon. Okay, go ahead and pick up what's on here. Coin purse, potion of strength. Don't need the mead. I'll take the potions, though. And the wine. And the silver ore. What's in the dresser? Yeah, just basic clothing. More potions? Sure. What about the books? Nothing of interest, although there is a high-level chest up here. Looks like they've been collecting foodstuffs for quite some time. What's in the chest? Well, not bad, not bad. Ah, there's the real prize. Okay, then. Now, you may have noticed the book that I picked up was actually a spell book for the transmutation alteration spell. That's not actually something that I would want to use. At least not with this character type. However, I'll show you exactly why I want to use the alteration skill anyway. See, my plan is, after I'm finished maxing out the smithing skill, even though my character isn't a magic caster, he's going to use the alteration skill tree and the alteration skill, despite the fact that he's not going to cast any spells related to it. This is why. Now, after a time, you gain more magic resistance, if I remember correctly, up to 30% total magic resistance. That's not dependent on a specific magic attack that is dependent on all magic attacks, not just fire, frost, or lightning. Any offensive magic is partly negated through this magic resistance, in addition to the natural 25 resistance offered by Bread and Blood, so to speak. So that means that with the total magic resistance perks, all three of them, my character will gain, I think, 55% total magic resistance, which is nothing to sneeze at for a passive skill. Now the other one I want is Atronach, which will allow you to absorb 30% of the magicka of any spells that strike me. That means any spells, not just attack spells, although the vast majority of spells cast at my character will be attack spells. That means when I use Dragon Skin, he's going to be able to absorb up to 80% of the magicka of any attack spell directed at him. That's going to be a tremendous ability to use, but take a look at the requirement. It requires a 100 level in the alteration skill tree, which means I need to work on this skill tree when I get the chance. And I might as well take the expert and the master alteration perks along with all the spell-based perks as well, because even though my character is not meant to be a magic caster, he may start using those spells eventually. I see no reason not to take the alteration skill along with the smithing skill after I've maxed out smithing. Be even better with the enchantment skill, but... well, I debated whether or not I should take the enchantment or the alteration skill when I finish maxing the smithing skill, but I chose alteration simply because it offers more passive benefits. Alright. Now to do what I've had in mind. Let's see, did I clear that? Yeah, I did. Let's go back to Whiterun. Yeah, this direction. One second, please. That appears to be a deer directly ahead of me. Or maybe that was an elk. The two that I saw before might have been reindeer. Well, they offered nearly the identical kind of meat. Doesn't really matter, it's all venison. Now, you probably already know what I'm going to do with one of these mammoth tusks. Go ahead and drop down here. Yeah, it's important to note that the magicka absorption and the magic resistance, they're two different types of mechanics. They don't actually fall under the same kind of damage protection. So while I don't actually understand all of it, what I do understand is that magic resistance is actually capped at 80% for each player character, no matter how you use it. If you use some manner of equipment, items, or if there's a natural perk or ability that allows you to gain magic resistance. It all stacks together for a cap of 80%. Now, the magic absorption, I don't actually have any knowledge as to how that's capped, but as I've mentioned, I do know for sure that it is a separate mechanic to magic resistance, and they do stack quite well with each other. What I don't know is whether or not magic resistance and magic absorption are capped when used at the same time. I'll need to experiment a bit to determine exactly what the limitations of magic absorption are. That's something I haven't utilized nearly as often as magic resistance. And for that matter, magic resistance in items. If you find an item while traveling that offers magic resistance, it's almost always a very low amount, say lower than 20% until you start reaching the highest levels. Well, let's just do what I came here to do.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda. Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them.
Well, a lot of them are drug smugglers.
Reputation mostly. A lot of Khajiit turn to smuggling and thievery to get by. A few bad apples spoil the bunch. You know how it is. About the same as everyone else. They're the catfolk of Elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. Way I hear it, Elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful. Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day, I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madran. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done.
Well, I can help her with that. I'm lugging 3 of them around right now.
You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future?
Alright, here you go.
Thank you. This should turn that old cat's gaze. Maybe I'll be able to become a caravaneer myself one day. As promised, let me show you a thing or two about bargaining. Don't want some shifty merchant giving you a raw trade. Farewell.
And there we are. My good deed for the day, and I've reached level 10. I think that's a wrap. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it.